So how long does it take to close a franchise startup SBA loan? Well, let's dive into that and more on today's episode. Well, first off, what's the franchise? Do we need a retail location? Is there tenant improvements that need to be done? What are the moving parts? Because that's what's going to slow down a franchise deal. Now, if we're talking about you're buying or you're investing in a franchise that's a home service business and you don't need any real estate, you can do it from home. We can close those deals in 2 or 3 weeks. It's pretty simple. What slows those deals up? If per the FDD, the franchise disclosure document, whatever's required that first year, like 2 trucks or whatever, we need invoices for those lease agreements, or if you're purchasing them, and all that needs to be lined up. Assuming that you have that, we can close these in 2 or 3 weeks, no problem. Now, anything with a tenant improvement, those are going to take a lot longer time. You're going to have to get plans, permits in place. You're going to have to get approval from the landlord on the improvements that you're making. And so anything that requires permits and plans, the bank that's going to make the SBA loan, they're going to want that all in place prior to closing on their loan. So that's what slows up deals. When you talk about SBA loans for commercial real estate, where you're buying a property, you need an appraisal and a phase 1 environmental report. So things like that slow up the commercial real estate type of SBA deals. But plain and simple, if it's a franchise startup, I have one bank that is extremely efficient, more efficient than any other banks I know, and we're closing deals in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, if it's a different bank, they're typically 45 to 60 days. Everybody seems to be very busy, so that's also what's slowing up a lot of this too. But the more the moving parts, the longer the transaction is going to take. And if you're on top of it versus, you don't have the lease agreement for the lease for the work truck you're buying, if you don't have those invoices ready, that's going to slow up the process. But if you have your financials, your forms filled out very quickly, then the deal is going to progress very quickly. I would say on average, I'm not talking about these smaller home service franchise deals, but in average, you're going to see a 45 to 60 day range for these franchise startups. If they have extensive TI, it could take longer because you're going to have to get plans approved, and who knows, that's based on your county or jurisdiction, how long it's going to take. And also you got to line up the quote from the general contractor. So also, if you need licenses, you're doing some kind of medical franchise model, you have to have all that in place. You have to have the key employee who's going to be the nurse on duty or whatever, right? So you need all that in place. But assuming you have that in place, the process is going to take 2 weeks to 60 days, depending on the bank or lender. So hope that answers a little bit of your questions on how long do these things take. I would say, before you get engaged with that particular lender, I'd really find out what their turn times are. When you submit a complete file, how long is it going to take right now to get to a loan commitment? Generally, you see a lot of banks around the 2-week mark. Now, granted, we have other banks that could move a lot faster depending on the situation. All in all, it's not that difficult of a process. It's pretty simple, actually. I think people overcomplicate it. Franchise startups, you're going to have your projections. You have all that dialed in, then you won't have a problem. And your credit score, if it's a deal under $500,000, most of the banks are using the SBSS credit scoring model. That's a credit scoring model created by FICO for SBA. And so to streamline the smaller SBA loans, they're underwriting using that credit reporting score. It's 0 to 300, and typically most lenders want to be higher than 145 or 155 in that range. As long as you score, it goes right into processing. They're fulfilling these loans a lot faster. Anyways, if you have any SBA questions, go to bookwithbo.com. I'm happy to sit down with you and talk all things SBA, all things franchise. Thanks so much. See you on the next episode. Hello, and thanks for visiting our website. If you're interested in getting on our weekly email distribution where we compile a list of available franchise resales, then go ahead and enter in your information below. If you want more of a customized search done for you based on specific brand or business model, then go up top and book a discovery call. We'll create a custom business search for you, and we'll be emailing those, which will be a little bit more specific to what you're looking for. But if you're just starting to dabble and you want to just get on the general list, you're more than welcome. But if you are really interested in making an acquisition in the next 60 or 90 days, then go ahead and book a call above, and we'll build a custom search on the resale inventory. So anyways, thanks. Stop by. Feel free to look at some of the articles we have on the website, and I look forward to connecting with you at some point. Hey guys, Bo Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.